So you want to improve your self-esteem, but you're not sure where to start. Maybe there's something specific that's bothering you. For example, maybe you're out of shape and you think that if you just get ripped, then immediately you'll have no problems with self-esteem anymore and you'll just feel confident all the time. Or maybe you're having problems with dating and you think that if you just get a girlfriend, then all of a sudden you'll become confident and you'll have no more self-esteem issues. The problem with statements like this is that there are still jacked people who have low self-esteem, and there are still people in relationships who have low self-esteem. So if getting these things we want doesn't immediately help our self-esteem issue, what else is there to do? And I would argue that the road to better self-esteem is less about the end goal and more about the road to actually trying to achieve these things we want. So the process of pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone more and trying new things more is what I believe to be the best way to build more self-esteem. And a good example of this is the gym. A lot of people think that if they work out, then they won't feel any better about themselves until they build their dream physique. And in the meantime, they're just gonna feel negatively about their body and about their self-esteem. But as anyone who's new to the gym can tell you, after the first or second workout of just trying and putting in that effort, you feel this rush of adrenaline and excitement just knowing you put yourself out there and actually made the effort to try something new and push yourself out of your comfort zone in that way. It's very similar with dating. A lot of men, for example, who have never gone up and approached a girl might think that if they get rejected, they'll feel so much worse, so there's not even a point in going up and talking to women. But then the men who have gone and done it realize that even if you get rejected in the worst possible way, you still walk away from the situation feeling a sense of accomplishment because you realize that rejection is infinitely better than that pain of not going and not applying yourself and not trying. There aren't specific end goals that are just going to result in higher self-esteem. It's more so about the effort that we're putting into these different pursuits. And if you are having problems with self-esteem, I can bet that there are at least one or two areas in your life that if you sit down for, say, 30 minutes, you could sit down and journal and actively identify what specific things in your life you aren't putting as much effort as you should into. So for example, maybe your academics are subpar and you know you haven't been putting as much effort as you should into it, and you believe that if you just got all A's, you'd feel much better about yourself. But before we even think about that, before we think about the end goal, we have to focus more on applying yourself. So if you want to increase your confidence and your self-esteem when it comes to something like studying, you have to realize that the first step is actually applying yourself. It's not getting the grade, but it's actually putting yourself out there and working hard and trying to reach this goal. Similarly, like I was talking about, dating. A lot of young men nowadays are very self-conscious about their dating life. And it's not because at the moment they don't have a girlfriend. A lot of them recognize that it's not the fact that they don't have a girlfriend. They don't need a girlfriend, but it's more so the fact that they're mad at themselves for not putting themselves out there and not actually applying themselves. And another major issue in this area is the excuses that we set for ourselves. So a lot of people will want to get in better shape, they'll want to do better academically, or in dating, or at work, or in whatever other area. But they set up excuses for themselves as to why they can't do this and why it's okay that they're not trying. And what I've realized from my own experiences and from talking to friends is that the less excuses you put up for yourself, the more easy it's going to be for you to actually set out on this route to better self-esteem. Because if you're constantly making excuses as to why you don't have to take action, as to why you specifically don't have to strive towards your goals, it's going to be so much harder to go out and put in this effort. If you recognize that there are things in your life that aren't the way you want them to be, whether it's your physique, dating, academics, social skills, or whatever else, if you can be honest with yourself and recognize that some kind of change has to be made and that it is going to take effort and that it is going to take time, as opposed to passing off external attributions, trying to explain why the reason you can't do this is due to some external influence, it's not your fault, it's society or other people, the less excuses like this you put up for yourself, the closer you are to step one. And that is quite literally going out and just putting more effort to random things in your day-to-day life. Things that you've identified you want to get better at, social skills, physical health, anything else, just going out and putting in that effort is the first step to better self-esteem. And I'm going to cut the video here so it doesn't get too repetitive. But if you can take away one message, it's that if you want to improve your self-esteem, it's not about getting all the things you think you want. It's not about the end goals, getting a better physique, getting into better relationships, being amazing socially, getting better grades. If you want to improve your self-esteem, the bottom line is the effort that you're putting in. Focus more on the effort and less on the outcome, and I can promise you that over time, your confidence and your self-esteem will improve drastically. And I do the whole outro where I thank you guys for watching, but so you might be able to tell I'm actually starting to lose my voice. But anyways, Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.